Hi everyone, welcome back. So today we will move to our lesson number 2, which is evaluating and simplifying expressions. Our objective, I can evaluate expressions and simplify expressions with variables. So how do I know I learned it? I can evaluate the self-check problem 1 expression and I can simplify the self-check problem 2 expression. So one of the big ideas that we will come across is evaluating expressions. And to help you with this, I have written here 2 steps. So basically, this is a 2-step process. So when we evaluate expression, the first step is to substitute given values in for variables. Substituting is replacing. And the second is, once you have already plugged in or substituted the numbers to the variable, we proceed to simplify the expression using the order of operations. And we will use the GEMDAS here when we simplify the expression. So recalling GEMDAS, we finished this in our lesson number 1. First, check the groups. G means grouping symbols. What are the grouping symbols? Parentheses, like A plus 2, 2 minus 3, 2 times 5, or divider, or whatever. And then we have here, look for the bracket, the brace, absolute value, the square root symbol, and the vinculum or the vinculum. The vinculum is the fraction line. Okay. Then we look for exponents. So let us recall some concepts on exponents. Let us evaluate this one. To evaluate this, what is an exponent again? Exponent tells us or tells you how many times you multiply the base. So our base here is 3 and the exponent is 2. So we have to multiply this 2 times. But let us write this in expanded form. This is 1 times 3 times 3. Why did I put a 1? Yeah, there's a 1 there. 1 is a factor of any number. So multiplying all these numbers, we get a 9. So I emphasize the 1 there so that you would see why the answer here is a negative. So when we expand this, it means negative 1 times 3 times 3. See, only 1 is negative, not the 3. So when we multiply these two together, we have a 9. 9 times negative 1 is equal to negative 9. While this one, when we expand, it's true there's a 1, but I don't need to write it anymore. It simply means negative 3 times negative 3. The negative 3 is enclosed, so meaning we multiply negative 3 2 times. So the answer here is positive 9. Though I can put a 1 there. There's an invisible 1. Okay. After checking all the groups and the exponents, the next is multiply or divide and then add or subtract. Remember, between these 4, our priority is the multiplication and division, and you do it from left to right. Okay, let's start with our first problem. So here, it's hard to see. I wrote it here. It's the same problem. So let us solve this example applying the steps. First, substitute given values in for variables. So if I make my y is equal to 3, we substitute or we replace. So this is 3 minus 5 minus, put the parentheses, our z is 7 minus x is 10. Then raise it to the second power. First, check the groups. I see 1 here. I will do that first. So 7 minus 10 is negative 3. If the answer is negative, you have to enclose it because there is an exponent there. So we have 3 minus 5 minus. So we're done with G. Then we go to E, exponent. This is an exponential number. Negative 3 to the second power is equal to positive 9. Then we drop the rest of the numbers. Then we look for multiplication or division. There is none, so we do this from left to right. 3 minus 5 is negative 2. Drop your negative 9, and then negative 2 minus 9 is negative 11, following the law of integers, that when we add two negative numbers, when we are adding two negative numbers, get the sum and put the same sign there. Okay? So what about the next? Substitute given values in for variables. We will follow the same steps. This is 2. So we substitute 2 to W. W is 2. Make it a habit that every time you substitute or you plug in a number, you put it in parentheses. Because sometimes the number is a negative. This one, okay? Minus 4 times V. V is 18 over. So let's substitute the denominator. W is 2 and V is 18. This is used as a grouping symbol, the vinculum. So let us do the top first. There. We have here, what is 2 to the third power? 2 to the third power is 2 times 2 times 2. So 2 times 2 times 2 is equal to 8. So the top is 8. This is 8. Let me cover this. So this is 8 minus. We multiply 4 and 18, we get a 72. And then this is also one group. Just multiply 2 and 18. So we will get, what is this? 36. Then let us continue. Subtract the top. 8 minus 72 is negative 64. And the square root of 36 is 6. So we get a negative 36. Square root of 36 is 6. So do we stop here? No. If you look at this, these are two even numbers. They have a common factor. So they are both divisible by 2. So simplify this. Divide both sides of both top and bottom by 2. We have negative 62 divided by 2 is negative 32. 6 divided by 2 is 3. This is the answer in fraction form. Okay, so I suggest you get the answer in fraction form, but when it is fraction, it should always be in simplest form. Or you can also write the answer, it's also acceptable. This is negative 10.67. So I accept both, fraction or decimal. Okay. So for our next concept, which is simplifying. Okay. The next concept is simplifying expression. Let us review a little bit some concepts that you will come across as you do this. So, yeah, I hope you could see that. This one is bigger. Yeah. Distributive property. So you will use the distributive property. There are times that the given is parentheses and there's a number outside. So what is a distributive property? You have to distribute. Distribute means to multiply. So multiply here. A times B plus A times C there. So example of that is this. We have 3 times 2 is equal to 6. And there's an x, so we put the x. 3 times 2x is 6x minus 3 times 4 is 12. Another is like terms. So what is like terms? Like terms are terms that have the same variables and powers or exponent. So which of the following are like terms? So here, I'm gonna use this colored thing, and this one are like terms. So we have here 2x squared and negative 4x squared are like terms. What else are like terms? 3x, 7x, and the negative 5x are also like terms. So this is one, they are the same. There's another one, the 3x, the 7x, and the negative 5x. If you look, I included the sign in front of it. It's part of the term. Okay, the sign of the term is the sign in front of it. And this one is another term. There are 3 sets of like terms here. Okay, so in simplifying expressions, this is you follow these steps. First, you check for parts that can be distributed and complete the distribution. Identify like terms and then combine like terms using properties of addition or subtraction. So let us solve this using these steps. First, check for parts that can be distributed and complete the distribution. Is there any part that can be distributed? None. So there is no parenthesis there. There is no distributive property. So then identify like terms. Like terms are, again, terms that have the same variable and exponent. So these two are both k. So these are like terms. So we have identified it. What else is like term? This one and this one are like terms. They are both constant. Then we combine those terms using the properties of addition or subtraction. So 4k plus 1k. Remember, the coefficient of a letter is the number in front of it. So the coefficient of k here is 4, and the coefficient of k here is 1. We add those coefficients. So 4 plus 1 is equal to 5, and then just attach the number, meaning there are 5 k's all in all. Then we do the same thing here. Negative 1 plus negative 4 will be negative 5. So that's the answer. Let's go to number 2. Check for the parts that can be distributed and complete the distribution. There is a part that can be distributed here. We distribute this there. To distribute means to multiply. So negative 5 times 2 is negative 10. And then negative 5 times 2n. So here, negative 5 times 2n. We distribute it first, then plus 4n. So we have negative 10 minus 10n plus 4n. Next, identify the like terms. What are the like terms? This is negative 10n and this is positive 4n. And then combine like terms using properties of addition or subtraction. So we have here negative 10 minus 6n. So 10 minus 4 is 6. This is our answer. Negative 10 minus 6n. Okay, let us proceed to problem number 3. Here, we have two grouping symbols. So we have to distribute this here and this here. Let us do it. 2 times 10. So this is the same as 2 times 10 plus 2 times 5n. And then the sign of 7 is plus, so we use plus here. 7 times positive n. Another, we distribute that there, plus 7 times negative 2. Okay? So, from here, this is just 20 plus 10n plus 7n minus 14. So, multiply a positive and a negative is negative. Then, identify like terms. So, what are the like terms? Here is our like terms. 10n and 7n. So combining these two, 10 plus 7 is 17n. And then put these two together as well. They are like because they are both constant or numbers only without a letter. So 20 minus 14 is negative, positive 6. That is our answer.